really need to get all of that farm.
So it looks like we are going to the second game here. See what picks and bans come out. Okay, definitely, yeah, Zed coming out as the first ban. There is literally that was something that was literally not gonna, not gonna go through this time.
No more Zed.
Yeah, it looks like Vladimir gonna get taken out as well. I wonder what the next bans are gonna be. Let's see what they go for.
They might ban out Twitch. Twitch was very dominant in that last game as well.
Maybe, but I feel like Twitch isn't like completely
Oh,
amazing.
there's the Vayne ban.
Yep.
I mean, Twitch was able to snowball his lane by himself, I believe. Like that, him and Lulu played bottom lane very very well, and even without jungle pressure, they were able to they were able to get a 4-0 lead, I believe, without jungle pressure at all.
Yeah. But you can't discount Lulu. Come on. Twitch by himself.
Well, no, I didn't discount Lulu at all. I gave credit to Lulu. I said that they played a 2v2 lane, but like Twitch's damage is just really high, and it's oh, there it is, the Twitch ban. So Ari getting banned out against blue team once again, targeted at Mimi. Who's gonna be purple team's last ban? Raiden, I'll give you $1 if you can get it right.
Not worth
Whole
it.
dollar. Oh, nope, too late.
So very surprising to see the Rise getting banned out here.
We do see Caitlyn getting picked up though. So looks like blue team's gonna go for that really really nice lane bully, and I'm gonna switch these and then go back to this for the time being. I did that right before Seal messaged me to turn off the overlay, just because I don't know. I just remembered after I glanced at my OBS. Anyway, I see the Caitlyn with Smite. Do you think Caitlyn will be carrying Smite into this lane? I highly, highly, highly want to see that.
I think that's actually going to be a jungle Caitlyn.
Jungle Caitlyn. I've heard of Jungle Ezreal, and he's. Oh, nope, nope. It does look like there's gonna be Barry instead. Dang. I was hoping for some meta breaking strategies. Looks like purple team is gonna be able to pick up Zac again, and that seems to be like one of their very comfortable picks. And they're just gonna roll with Zac and Jace. Jace going for both either mid or top. I guess you can ADC as well, but more commonly mid or top. And no, that is a Twisted Fate instead. Twisted Fate locked in now, so they are gonna go for that more global pressure. And how's blue team gonna respond to this?
Ooh, and that bottom lane is a real terror right there. Sona being able to just give Caitlyn that infinite sustain, not with the mana though, but with the HP. So we are going to see a lot of poke coming down in the bottom lane. It looks like they are going to pick up the Cho'Gath here.
I hear that's
They're,
one of Kira's more comfortable champions, so they're gonna steal that away from her.
yeah. They stole the Zac away from Snowy Blaze. Oh no, Snowy Blaze got the Zac. Never mind. Just kidding. Ignore me.
No, trades are not a thing. Don't you say that. Who said that? Somebody
So
in
we do
chat
see the
said.
Zillion coming out here. Is that gonna be a top Zillion or a mid Zillion? No, that's not a mid Zillion because
I
TF's
hope
mid.
that's a top zillion. I really hope that's a top zillion. I want to see some meta breaking
Nope,
moments.
never mind.
Kale. Kale is
Trolling.
so
Carry be
strong.
trolling here. Seal was so excited to see the Zillion.
I want to see Zillion. Zillion is just he was my first main actually. Like he was the first champion that I dedicated myself to play. 3.5, 4 years ago. Looks like we are gonna see another Lulu pickup. Lulu just being a very very strong support. Let's see. Aatrox. Is this the first Aatrox this tournament?
Oh man, this is gonna be interesting.
I don't think I've seen an Aatrox this tournament thus far. So I'm kind of
Although
curious
the
to how Exeta will play him.
although Exeda's Tryndamere has not been banned at all, so he can still pick that up if he wants.
Tryndamere against Kale though. Not really. I feel like he's gonna have a hard time. He will definitely have a hard time for the first few levels, but no, he won't even be able to dive because like a lot of Tryndamere's focus, they dive the tower when their opponents are low, and they use their ult as an escape mechanism of sorts, so they can just kind of tank the rest of those hits and peace out. But as soon as he pops his ult to do those finisher strikes, Kale's just gonna pop her ult as well, and they're gonna go nowhere. So I do think it's a smart choice to stay away from the Tryndamere and go for somebody else instead. Heimer, please lock that. Accidentally lock the Heimerdinger. Please?
So that is gonna be a Warwick AD carry.
Stay on Teemo. Pull out the Cottontail Teemo. Pull out the Panda Teemo. I want to see Teemo 80 carry. I do. That's not a Teemo. It's also a Yordle, but not a Teemo. But wouldn't it be amazing if we just had a Yordle bottom lane? What do you think about Yordle bottom lane? Like, Lulu Tristana, Yordle bottom lane.
There's no way that would happen.
There's no way. Can we just call Kog'Maw like a mutated Yordle, like dropped in a nuclear vat or something?
Yeah, sure, we can go with that.
Alright, so Kog'Maw is now a Yordle. And we've decided that. So that's a thing now. But it does look like Purple Team is definitely gonna be playing Feed the Dog, where originally this was Tranquility saying, but the dog does refer to Kog'Maw, so feed the dog, feed the Kog'Maw. And let's see, Mimi. I hear Mimi is well known for her Anivia or his Anivia, the Anivia. To to not be Dogma new skin. Riot, please, Riot, please. Oh God. I'm kind of surprised we don't see as much trading in these games going on. Like, just not a like no trading on the map at all. Like no trading between the team members.
Nope, they just know what they want and they go and take it.
Yep. I'm actually really surprised we don't see someone more of an assassin once you see the first pick TF. Like someone like Fizz or Pantheon or someone that just or even Jarvan just get up in his face and just kill him repeatedly. Because that's whenever you see Twisted Fate being picked up as like first pick, you see a lot of these just really strong, aggressive early game champions because that's the window where TF is strongest. But he also has, or rather, not strongest, but like in the lane strongest. But he just doesn't have that. He doesn't have the escape potential that other champions do. So any hard stun and big burst damage early will take him out very quick. You do see Kale versus Aatrox, and I'm a little curious to how that lane's gonna come up, because I can see Righteous Fury on Kale chunking down Aatrox quite a bit, but then Aatrox will just come up between Righteous Fury cooldowns, and he just lifesteals so much off those minions. But do you think that's gonna be enough to counterbalance the Righteous Fury, especially with the I don't know what the slow's name is called.
I feel like it's gonna be really tough for Aatrox to deal with if Kiri decides to just keep on, going in after him every time and just auto tagging over and over. Because the thing is, Kale is one of those champions where it's like just kind of pokish. You go in, you throw the Q, and then you start smacking him a little bit. But Aatrox, doesn't really deal well with that. If there's range against him, he's gonna really have to just, you know, find the opportunity to just all in at some point and just go back and forth with the all ins. But it's gonna be really tough.
All right, so 1 minute and counting. And we do see a lot of new champions between these teams. Who do you think is gonna win the skin war? My money's on purple team,
Well, then I'm gonna have to choose the blue team.
and it's on. See, you
Alright.
got first choice last time, so I'm taking that away from you.
Okay, alright.
Yup, thief.
Hold on, I'll be right
No,
back real quick.
no, don't leave me alone. Everyone's eyes are on me now. I don't know what to do. Are you posting another? Are you really posting another stream chat in our stream chat? Seal, hammer, do it. Shake my head. And we are going into game now. That's what Seal thinks when they leave him showcasting alone. GG. Alright. And I'm gonna trigger that. Here we are. Lion Dance Kog'Maw, my favorite Kog'Maw skin. We do have Musketeer, Twisted Fate, and Viridian Kill. Viridian Kill is so good looking. But Arcade Sona, Resistance Caitlyn, I can speak English, and Nightmare Cho'Gath coming out for blue team. So I think it's 3v3. It is 3-3, but I'm gonna sneak in my victory call because Nightmare Cho'Gath was given free by Alienware 3 years ago. So because it was technically a free skin, I'm gonna take that victory. Just steal it from under Raiden's nose. I hear it's large and often congested. That's actually why he had to leave for a moment. He had to blow his nose. And he's been gone for quite a while. I'm assuming it's because he had to find more tissues. First tissue box ran out. Please let him know I talked about his nose for about 45 seconds. It'll make me happy as a person. So let's look at some team comps right now, I guess. Well, I guess we have a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. Shoutcaster's always hating. Anivia's a really, really strong mid, and I would almost call her a counter versus Twisted Fate, just because Twisted Fate really likes to push, and you can't push an Anivia down. Let me put up that overlay. But on the other hand, Anivia's roam is not nearly as strong, so that's gonna be the deciding factor of middle, the roam versus the push. As far as junglers, I do think Zac has better ganks, but Cho has quite a few CCs, and with things like Anivia's wall and Anivia's slow, and also the stun, of course, they'll be able to land free ruptures. Aatrox as well. With Aatrox's jump, they'll be able to land free ruptures and combo right off that. As far as bottom lane, not a lot of combo potential for Cho in bottom lane, so those ganks might not work out nearly as well. Top lane's gonna be a lot of whether or not Kayle can keep the harass out on Aatrox. If Aatrox is forced to use his Bloodthirst blood price to always be healing up and healing up on minions, that means there's not going to be a lot of aggression on Kayle herself. So that's going to be kind of how Kayle hopes to play that lane out. Also, Raiden, I talked about your nose for about a minute. Yep, I did that.
You talked about what?
I talked about your nose for about a good 60 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Also, I won the skin war. I count Cho, the Nightmare Cho'Gath skin, as only half because it was given away free by Alienware. Do you agree with that statement?
No.
Well, screw you. It's okay. I forgive you.
Just because it was given out, just because it was given out free doesn't mean people didn't pay for it.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
Anyways, looks like both junglers just gonna grab their blue buff and just start heading to wolves or red buff. So we see here Cho'Gath did opt to take the wolves before going to red buff. So we are going to see Zac probably hitting that level 3 just a bit earlier.
With the earlier level 3s, probably I would think he would just lay a gank out on top, try to force a flash, but ganking Aatrox is actually quite difficult, just because he has that really fast jump. And he can just dodge away from it.
It looks like he jumps straight onto kill right here, putting out a lot of damage, but actually there's just too many minions in the lane right now, so he's taking a bit more damage than he wants.
Kog'Maw is doing quite a bit of damage to Caitlyn, already cutting her down to half health. And that Kog'Maw Lulu combo, like Lulu's shield, just makes it so Kog'Maw will always get an extra auto attack out of that trade as far as damage dealt and damage sustained.
Looks like Snowy Blaze jumping up top, but Xyzta just gonna jump straight out of there. Looks like Ignite coming down on to Xyzta, but Flash having to be used just in case, so the turret doesn't, kill Kire.
I think if there was one more auto attack, that Ignite would have been a finisher. But as it stands, good job on Zeta, knowing when to back out and making sure to pop that health pot so that the Ignite wouldn't take away it. Or at least
you see Cho'Gath coming down, moving to the bottom lane here, but it looks like they're just gonna back off and not much is gonna happen.
Kog'Maw does get a single firework shot off though, and he just goes right back in as soon as Cho leaves. And here's Cho just coming back. He's kind of indecisive about what he wants to do then. And it actually looks like Cho and Zac are just gonna switch spots. Zac now coming down to bottom, looking for that gank.
Yeah, and blue team does not have a ward in that bush, so Zac is not spotted out at all right here. Red team's just gonna try to bait this one.
It does look like the wave is not gonna cooperate though, as it is pushing in, and Zac is gonna try to go around through Tribe Bush, but he is gonna be spotted with this. So no ganks yet, or no successful ganks for either team then. It looks like Zac's gonna go towards mid and try to lay a gank on mid. It is quite a bit easier to gank mid, I think, because comboing Twisted Fate's gold card with any character with a form of CC just makes for very, very easy ganks. Still a lot of aggression in bottom lane. Kog'Maw is just doing and speaking of aggression, looks like Aatrox jumping in on Kayle once again. And this is actually one of the things I didn't foresee. Kayle is now out of mana, which means that Aatrox has complete dominance in this lane.
Oh, looks like Slip and Say gonna get caught here. Flash Rupture coming down from Leo. Gonna throw the silence down also. Looks like Yuga's gonna go for a flash as well. Slow coming down really hard. The Rupture gonna land, giving the first blood to Leo, and now priming in a really bad position. No, he's just gonna get out. Never mind.
That excitement and then the drop.
No, not gonna happen. Just no.
Looks like Zac is gonna go around and try to get a gank on Aatrox. I don't know how successful this is gonna be, just because Kayle doesn't have a lot of mana.
He jumps in straight away, and
but Twisted Fate's gonna come down.
Card, Flash coming down. Good job by Xyzta to just avoid that gank.
I think if TF jumped a little bit earlier, they would have definitely been able to catch Aatrox, without him being able to get away though. So a little bit about the timing. I mean, Zac did jump all the way back here, and it was able to stop Aatrox's complete back. So Aatrox had to kind of like roam around him, but at the same time trying to dodge Kayle. But he was already towards his tower by the time Twisted Fate decided to ult, or decided to Destiny in. So he was in a fairly safe position, and he is just going to be able to farm and push the wave in.
Yeah, that sustain is really helping him out, just keeping him in the top lane for as long as he wants to be there.
Well, that and the fact that he doesn't have mana problems. If Kira decides to go full melee and try to farm like that, she's gonna be cut up by Aatrox. But if she's being forced to expend her Righteous Fury every time she wants the CS, she's gonna run out of mana.
Yeah, it's very, very dangerous situation for her, either or.
Once again, bottom lane still, I mean, at this moment, they should be fairly even on gold, I think. 2000, Kog'Maw is a little bit ahead. But you see best Prime Vayne NA taking all of, like, he's consistently getting higher CS than his opponent in bottom lane. And on Kog'Maw, that's especially dangerous, because Kog'Maw is such a great hyper carry. Well, Caitlyn, I think Caitlyn's more prime window would be early and mid game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Raiden.
It's just very decent. It's just very decent late game as well. But the thing with Caitlyn is you're supposed to use your advantage. You're supposed to get an advantage, and if you don't get the advantage at all, you're not. You know, it's not gonna. It's gonna be harder to last the mid lane.
Does look like Cho did try to gank top, put a little pressure on Kayle, and Kayle is forced to flash. So this, once again, putting Kayle at such low health, this is going to give Aatrox just a really big window to farm all he likes, and he's going to be able to lifesteal up, and he's just going to be able to put on that pressure again in top lane.
And I find it really interesting that they keep doing these lane switch and like role swaps, and it's really keeping their opponents on their toes. They don't know really what champions to ban out, because when they ban certain champions, people just go, oh, I'm gonna do this role now, and you go do there, and they go, okay. And so everyone's just able to kind of cover each other up.
So let's take a look at items right now. Something interesting that just catches my eye. Bottom lane, despite the 20 CS gap, have almost identical items. Sona going for that Sight Stone, while Lulu opting to get the Philosopher's Stone instead. And we do have a little bit of a skirmish top lane. Aatrox once again winning, coming out on top in that trade. But if we look at mid,
Twisted Fate forced to flash away.
Mid is going for a Cage's pick on Twisted Fate versus a Catalyst on Anivia. Well, Anivia Catalyst is far more standard. I don't know. I mean, I think Twisted Fate's gonna go for that Twin Shadows to try to get that extra move speed and the extra catch potential for this game.
Yeah, and you're right. He does go for that Twin Shadows right away, and no, definitely a decent buy for Twisted Fate. Oh, it looks like Kog'Maw gonna get ruptured up into the air. Crescendo coming straight down, and looks like they're just gonna have to put the wall growth onto Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw and Caitlyn both getting exhausted and getting really low. They can't really fight this one. It looks like Twisted Fate gonna come down, getting the gold card straight onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn gonna have to flash out and barrier, but looks like Shoutcasted in a bad position as well. He flashes out too. Can the rupture land? The rupture does land onto Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate still has the Ghostbuster item to go and throw down his ghost, but it's like he's just gonna back out. There's not really much he can do.
If he actually used that just a little bit sooner, he definitely would have been able to catch his opponents. If you noticed, Twisted Fate, instead of auto-attacking that entire time while they were running, he was running alongside him, and that is actually a very smart play by Twisted Fate. When you auto-attack, you actually expend time that you could be moving, just doing a small amount of damage, especially on an AP carry. But in this case, it was more important to get that gold card to try to lock down your opponent so that Kog'Maw can catch somebody. So that was actually a really smart play.
That was so close. Kog'Maw almost getting that kill. Cho'Gath living with a sliver of HP.
And we do see once again that Exeta is just bullying his Kira out of the lane as Aatrox right now. And the CS is still about even, but it seems to me like the lane is always in Aatrox's favor here. I'm actually really surprised, and Kira's doing a great job keeping up in CS while there's so much pressure on her. Kog'Maw got a tier.
Yeah, so we do see the tier coming out from Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw probably gonna get that Muramana so he can keep spamming his abilities as well. So he's gonna try to be the, you know, the fireworks Kog'Maw here. Just gonna keep throwing out his artillery over and over and over.
I have to say that's my favorite Kog'Maw skin, so I'm really happy to see that.
And
it
again,
looks like
Exita jumping straight into the fray onto Kale. But you know, too many minions here. He's gonna have to back off and just heal off this wave.
Oh my god, that lifesteal is gigantic.
And yeah, especially at when he's below 50% HP, he gets even more lifesteal off of that.
It's like everybody's setting up to give Anivia the blue buff. So she's just gonna be able to clear that way, that mid lane. There's no way to push her down anymore once she gets blue buff.
Yeah, Anivia being one of the best tower holders in the game with that ultimate. As long as she can keep it up, just keep on protecting a tower over and over and over again.
You just can't push down an Anivia. Like a single Q and like 3 seconds on her ult, and the entire wave is cleared. Looks like Kira and Kira and Exita are both duking it out again top lane. Both actually coming out fairly even in that trade. However, Cho does look like he's sneaking up in that lane. We'll see if he can make a gank happen. I'm actually really impressed by the relatively safe game both teams are playing. We are at 14 minutes and there's only been 1 kill on the map. And ironically, when the best book club does have that 1 kill, but the Gatekeepers are ahead in CS.
Ooh, and Exita does dive straight onto Curie and pick that one up.
So right when my statement was accurate, now it is not. So they do have 2 kills now. And I was gonna mention that the gold count was very, very close. But definitely that second kill did bring them closer to even now.
Yeah, and a lot of this is due to the fact that just, you know, bottom lane is just farming up a storm. He is 30 CS ahead of his opponent.
Not only that, but consider loaded dice. Twisted Fate's passive has given Kog'Maw 250 gold on top of that. So that's like a red elixir. That's 2/3 of your boots. That's half a longsword. It sounds so small, but that's actually quite a bit.
Looks like Mimi's forced a flash there. Twisted Fate just jumping straight into the fray, not giving any any care for his life, just jumping straight in.
Any care for his life? Nice cover up.
Well, what did you think I was gonna say?
A more vulgar word. We'll put it that way.
Really? Is that what you thought I was gonna say?
I do think of you like that.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
Even Seal says it in chat. Good catch.
Screw you, Seal. Alright, we do see a pause coming down here. It looks like Twisted Fate is lagging a little bit. Just gonna get that fixed up real quick so he can play the game.
So why don't we take a look at builds, I guess, once again. Twisted Fate does have a Sheen, and that's a really core item on him. Kale has picked up her Nashor's Tooth, and that's once again a really core item. One of the popular things that the Koreans did during early season 3 was Nashor's Tooth in Leandri's Torment, because each time your Righteous Fury hit, the area of effect damage would also proc Leandri's. And that was a really, really big combo in Korea, and that was why Kale dominated the scene over there for quite a while. If I could speak, I could do this better. Oh, and we are resuming. On the flip side, though, Aatrox does look like he has a Bilgewater Cutlass, probably going for a Blade of the Ruined King, and Anivia picking up 2 mana items. And this is really good if you can CS well. And it does look like she is 20 CS above her counterpart, so this is gonna go well for her. Caitlyn still behind in the item department for bottom lane, although not by as much as you would think. She does have tier 2 boots instead, and the tier doesn't give any combat stats. So as far as the what is it, 970 I think? Is that right?
I think so.
I think it's like that. The 970 gold that tier does cost is not going to add to the combat stats nearly as much. So they are actually very similar in power level.
Looks like Leo gonna just jump straight into the bottom lane just to scare him off. Not really gonna get a lot out of this, but it will instill the fear of the Zergling into their hearts.
You know, I think it was my 5th or 6th game I ever played a league, and I saw Cho and I was like, why is there a Zergling in my game? And then I saw he was the most overpowered thing in the world because he ate me. And this is like, this is when they didn't really have a great matchmaking
Oh, it looks like
system.
Snowy Blade's gonna jump straight into the fray. Crescendo coming down, locking up the Kog'Maw and the Lulu gonna jump and throw the Wild Growth onto Zac, and Zac is just gonna do so much work here. And Nivea actually taking down Kog'Maw, instantaneously evaporating him. Looks like he's gonna just keep throwing all he's got, throwing the storm down, forcing a flash on Zac and picking up the Lulu kill. Really good job.
That perfect
jump
wall.
Away. Oh my gosh. Can Zac get away from this? Yeah, looks like his boots are gonna kick in, so he'll be fine. Ooh, he's actually gonna get shot at with the ace in the hole, but not gonna do enough damage to pop him into cell division.
Minigame. What? Who said that? Anyway, like Cho, definitely OP Zergling. They made it for the Koreans. That's why the Koreans are so good at this game. That's my bet.
Yeah, and you definitely can see Mimi is very proficient on that Anivia. He's able to get that wall down just to stop Zac. He still got over it, but he was, you know, caught just a little bit inside the terrain. Yeah, it looks like this is gonna be just gonna be a dragon for the Best Book Club.
Not only that, but Mimi's positioning during that fight was excellent. Being able to pick off both Kog'Maw and I think it was Lulu.
Ooh, looks like Rupture coming down onto Lulu with silence onto the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw doing so much damage here. Sona gonna probably go down here. And looks like Caitlyn's actually gonna go down as well. Ooh, the Living Artillery landing perfectly right there. And now Cho'Gath is gonna be in a very bad situation, throwing the flash down, trying to get away. The speed buff onto Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw, the last Living Artillery, and he gets a triple kill. Oh my god, that was really good.
That was excellent play. Like those mechanics were spot on there. I think we found double with Kog'Maw. But no taking away any of that though. Kog'Maw, I mean, Prime Bay Nene played that perfectly with Slip and Slay. I think Slip and Slay. I mean, they both coordinated very well with their speed buffs and shields, or rather, Lulu's speed buffs and shields, keeping Kog'Maw in range of being able to attack the Cho.
Yeah, and they had really good target selection that fight as well. They made sure Sona died first. She was really low. So they went after her, and then all of a sudden, you know, they just turned straight onto Caitlyn. And what is going on? My game is like...
Well, we do see Aatrox jumping back onto Kayle, and Blade of the Ruined King completely negating Kayle's slow. And here comes TF though. TF does get the gold card and the auto attack, but Aatrox is going to have his passive up. Can he get away? He does have his jump up. And he's going to be able to... Nope, it does look like he's staying because he cannot outrun the Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate's going to gold card him and pick up that kill. So this is kind of what you want to see when you play Twisted Fate. You want to start getting those really nice ganks on your side lanes, helping your laners with you know, their opponents, their counterparts, even without your jungler present. Speaking of junglers, looks like we have a party in top lane. Zac is going to take a giant amount of damage, forced to pop his ult to try to get away with that CC reduction, but Ignite is going to take on him, and he will live with only 50 health. On the other hand, top and bottom tower have gone down now. Purple team with a 3-tower lead, top, mid, and bottom rather. So this is going to be quite a bit of global gold that they have over their opponents. Blue team does have a single tower, and I believe they got dragon. I think only one, but they did get dragon. So that's open. There you go. There's the other tower. There's the second tower. So both teams pretty much even when it came to global gold now, or comes to global gold. You get your game fix, Raiden?
Yeah. Alright, it's good. I don't know why everyone was like stuck in positions, and I went to the stream and I was like, is there anything? No, everyone's still moving, so I guess it's just my game. It looks like Aatrox jumping straight onto Slip and Slay here. Going to put out a lot of damage. Crescendo coming down onto the Kog'Maw and the Lulu. Going to take a lot of damage here. Throwing the Wild Growth onto Kog'Maw, trying to save his life. He has to flash out. Throwing the exhaust onto Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate still going to go in. It looks like Anivia taking out Lulu. And oh, they actually stopped the Let's Bounce with a knockup with a Rupture. It looks like Cell Division is coming down. This is going to be...
minigame. And they are going to focus on the blobs instead of chasing after Purple Team. Zach's gonna give his life with his passive. Rest of his team.
Oh, the barrier coming down is slowed enough. He's gonna get into auto attack range and is gonna shut down Kog'Maw, giving him a nice 300 gold bounty.
And there is the shutdown. No, excellent team fight played out by Best Book Club. They're gonna be able to take a tower, maybe even two off of this. Maybe two. Maybe. Nope. Guess not. Looks like they are gonna opt to check buffs instead, stealing away Purple Team's blue buff.
Yeah, so it looks like that blue buff's gonna go straight to Caitlyn here. I thought they were gonna give it to Anivia for a refresh, but it looks like Anivia's blue buff might still be on, a higher cooldown. So they're just gonna keep it like that.
Anivia's blue was almost gone. I think that was a mistake.
It is? Oh, okay, yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Oh, it looks like
no, that couldn't have been a mistake. That couldn't have been a mistake. Mistakes, he used to be on TPA. Now he's on TPS. It can't be him. He's not allowed in this tournament.
Fate gonna ult up to the top lane, split pushing that. And it looks like they're gonna go for a full force push in the mid lane here.
DusilB is going to leave that top tower at less than half, and we do have a little bit of a skirmish in mid.
Yeah, Jonas forced a flash there.
One of the things you never want to do against Anivia is fight inside the jungle. Anivia just has so many ways to keep the jungle hers. And it's really dangerous if you decide to fight in the jungle. I mean, the wall will split up your team, the stun is more likely to hit multiple people, and then her ulti just sits there and just damages everybody. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but Glacial Storm does quite a bit of damage.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not something you want to sit on for a very long time.
Especially when she gets Frostbite, and she gets double damage on Frostbite because you're now chilled. I mean, this is actually why Anivias don't really need to build a lot of damage to do a lot of damage.
I was actually gonna make a joke about that. Look like if you stand on top of it for too long, you're gonna get Frostbite. But I didn't know her skill was actually called Frostbite too.
I think, whoa, this is the first time Blue Team's taken a gold lead during this game. I think Purple Team has always been ahead by a little bit because of bottom lane CS difference. But Blue Team finally taking a little bit of a gold lead, 1,000 gold. I mean, that's a small amount at this point in the game, but still, a gold lead nevertheless. Doesn't look like both teams are going to start setting up for Dragon. Mimi checking the Dragon with her wall, just to make sure it's not being done presently, and perhaps hoping to trap somebody.
Ooh, that was so much damage coming out of the Keychain right there from Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw doing a ton of damage.
How stacked is that Mana Moon? Let's see. It's about 500, so almost there. Once he does get that Mana Mirror, he is gonna hurt.
Oh, it looks like Mimi coming in from the side, throwing this stun and the wall and everything getting, and looks like the retribution gonna come on to Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw gonna be fine. Actually going in the very edge of the crescendo. I thought he was out of that one, but he's gonna do a really good job. Mimi gonna just kill Snowy Blaze. Doesn't even matter. Exita jumping straight into the frame. Does he have his passive? Doesn't look like it, but oh my gosh, the healing from that W just doing so much work. And just Mimi here getting everybody, stunning Kirei and going for the third kill.
And that's really what you want to do. I mean, as soon as that stun landed on Kog'Maw, they were able to pick off one person, and once Anivia stun hits, Rupture can hit. Once Rupture hits, so can Aatrox. Like, they just stacked CC on that one point. Anivia was forced to back a little bit by Zac, but then Zac went into her jungle. And Zac went into Anivia's, like, Anivia land. That's Anivia land. We're gonna call it that. Because it sounds silly, and I like it. But basically walking into that area. What?
And it's gonna piss off Seal.
I actually had not thought of that at all, to be completely honest. But it is like you can't fight Anivia when she's in that jungle. She just has so much pressure there. And they were able to pick up Zac and then just continue and collapse on their opponents.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna grab a dragon out of this. Looks like Twisted Fate gonna come in, try and get the dragon, but he doesn't get a steal. He comes in and actually catches. They do catch Keechin right here. He's gonna get gold carded, and looks like that one just goes straight to Twisted Fate. Oh, but looks like Exita doesn't have enough. He was waiting for the cooldown in his Qs, just standing next to the wall, hoping everyone would just ignore him.
I saw that too. I was kind of like, is he just kind of baiting there to stall for time, or is he like waiting? And here's Anivia. Like, as soon as Anivia gets there, you just can't push that wave anymore. She clears so fast. So they are not going to be able to take a tower, even though they just eliminated 2 members on the opposing team.
Yeah, they do have an inhibitor down. Looks like Snowy Blaze is going to get caught out a little bit here. The wall comes down. He's forced to jump. Does he have the Let's Bounce? He's stunned. Snowy Blaze is... What the heck? Twisted Fate just standing there. Oh, definitely a DC.
And here's the mini game right as the DC happens. So many DCs this game. Or this match.
So funny though. It's just like, I see like Zac fighting. He's like, all right, I got Twisted Fate to back me up here. Oh wait, dog, yo, dog, come. What are you doing? Do I just standing there? Help me! And then he just goes into the cell division.
Poor TF, DCing, unable to do anything. Poor Zac, actually. Alright, so let's see. So blue team not only pulling out their first gold lead in the game, they're actually pulling ahead now. And they are 3,500 gold ahead of their opponents. If we look at items right now, we do see Kale, instead of picking up a Liandry's or perhaps another AP attack speed item, like a Death Cap would have been great for the just straight AP as well, because Nashor's too new passive, but she does pick up a Morella Nomicon instead. What do you think about that, Raiden? I think it's definitely there for the healing debuff. Just so when Aatrox gets low, he can't heal as much.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty valid reason to get a Morella Nomicon. And especially on Kel when you're always using your spell to smash, someone in the face. It is pretty worth it to get that.
And on the other side, we do have a Hex Drinker coming out, already finishing his Blade of the Ruined King and a BF, so it looks like he's going for a Bloodthirster next. So he's going to be stacking that gigantic amount of lifesteal. Junglers they went for a very similar start, but then as soon as they hit their boots, they just branched off. Cho going for the Spirit Visage instead, giving him a little extra health and mana, or rather a little extra health off his, I think it's Cannibalism or Carnivore. I think it's Carnivore actually. Passive. And there is the minigame, and Zac does fall to Anivia. A little unfortunate considering he was waiting for Twisted Fate's back up there. Twisted Fate is going to get out though. We do see Zanya's Hourglass being made by Anivia, and she already has her Rod of Ages, I can speak English.
No, you can't.
Shh. I try. I rolled a really nice bluff on my English speaking. And
Well, this
yes,
is quite an interesting take on Kog'Maw here. Going for what seems like a blue build Kog'Maw, going for that last Whisper more mana, instead of the typical, what you would see, the Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer Kog'Maw.
I'll have you know, Blade of the Ruined King is purple.
Somewhat blue. Wait.
Speaking of blue, as soon as you said blue build, all I thought was Anivia's blue, Showa's blue, Sona's majority is blue.
Kalen's kind of green blue.
Kalen's kind of green blue.
Ooh, there's an element style Sona crescendo.
An element style Sona crescendo.
Nah, I'm just kidding. But overall it was good catch.
I mean, both teams. Blue team did really well to catch that. I mean, Anivia walling the middle lane to stop Kog'Maw from being able to back in that direction was really good, and it set up a really nice kill. But purple team was just able to get out of that with some really nice play CC, and along with a little luck with Sona missing her crescendo. But they are just going to transition right into sieging this tower.
Yeah, and they can do this really well with Kalen. Kalen just sieges towers so perfectly. But it looks like Cho'Gath taking a bit too much damage, doesn't want that. And it looks like a speed coming down on Twisted Fate throwing the gold card onto Kalen. Kalen gonna stand there for a while, not doing any damage. Snowy Blaze jumping straight in, Let's Bounce coming down on everybody. Where is his team? His team is unable to help him right now, and Aatrox's gonna get taken down. It was like, oh, perfect retribution right there to just stop that ace in the hole. But looks like he's gonna go down, and Prime Vein NA is just gonna have to stand in the back here shooting his fireworks.
So one thing that you can't really do against an Anivia as well is run at her in a straight line. So if you notice, what happened was Twisted Fate ran at them to try to get that gold card off, and did get it off on Caitlyn. But because he ran in a straight line the entire time and he ran a little too close, Anivia was able to pick up a really easy. Did Kog'Maw? Okay, Kog'Maw just picked up a kill. Good job, Kog'Maw. But Anivia was able to just pick up a land a really easy stun. And once that stun landed, the Twisted Fate was gone. Twisted Fate just got instantly melted. And after that, their team tried to keep up and tried to force the fight after. But between Caitlyn's barrier, Sho's rupture, and Aatrox diving on the backline, they just couldn't do anything anymore. Aatrox zoned out 3 pool by himself, and I believe he left Kayle. I think it was Kayle. No, it was Lulu to fight the enemies by herself, and you know, Lulu against Cho, Anivia, Caitlyn, and Sona. That's not going to end well for her.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
That is more of a nightmare than it is a bedtime story, in my opinion. The poor Yordle, the poor fairy Yordle, against an Articuno, a Zergling. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it was scary. I guarantee you that.
So Twisted Fate ulted. Pretty sure that was because. Actually, never mind.
No, he was just checking Baron at that point. I think. No, Baron has a ward. I have no clue why he did that.
Yeah, that's why I took back what I said. He ulted for a purpose.
He was trying to be equally terrifying as the Nightmare told beforehand. As Nightmare Cho'Gath, he was trying to be equally terrifying, pretending he was about to gank. That way, their opponents would think twice about doing anything. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Or rather, that's the story I made up for him, and I'm sticking to that.
I like when you make stories.
Would you read me a bedtime story?
Your stories are always great, lovely.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not, Raiden.
Never sarcastic.
Never sarcastic. Alright, and it does look like we do have another siege on the inhib. Twisted Fate is going to get knocked up by the rupture, but nobody's there to follow up on that. But the wall does go down, and the stun onto Kog'Maw. Nivea going a little too close and getting fuzzied, but he is able to pop her hourglass and stay alive through this fight. Crescendo does go down, and Aatrox jumping on the backline, Retribution goes down on Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw just rips through Aatrox, doing so much damage. Cho falling down too. Now it is a 3 versus 3, but Purple Team is very low, and Sona is going to fall as well. Can Twisted Fate pick up a stun card right now, but Anivia is going to stun him instead, and they are going to be able to cut off scot-free, but here comes Ghostbusters, and they are not going to be able to follow up on that. So actually it was a 4v2, 4v3 there. I did not even see, I thought Kale died there.
It's a very good job here for the
by Purple Team. That inhib defense was amazing. Making sure to get the Retribution onto Kog'Maw, keeping him alive through the Aatrox dive, and just because Kog'Maw had so much focus on him. Lulu's timing on Anivia was actually perfect as well. If you notice, it made it so that Anivia did get her Glacial Storm off, but she wasn't able to Frostbite Kog'Maw.
Oh, it looks like Private NA is gonna just take out Yuka right there. Really, really good play right there. But just Caitlyn being Yuka just being a little too far out, a little bit out of position there, and Prime Vane just able to just take advantage of that, and they're gonna get a tower out of this, or maybe not. Oh no,
yep, they are. But like I was saying, I do think that the biggest play during that fight, the two big plays in that fight, were Lulu and Kale there in the hip defense, because Lulu was able to silence Anivia while she was going to Frostbite, so she never actually got the double damage off until it was too late, and she was forced to Zanya's instead. But not only that, but because she kept walking forward to try to Frostbite, she would put herself in a really poor position. So that was actually Lulu's silence. And then Kale just prevented Kog'Maw from dying and let Kog'Maw shred through everybody. So they played that fight perfectly.
Yeah, so they just need a couple more of those fights.
Divine Intervention, not Retribution.
Yeah,
I'm dumb.
Intervention.
Retribution's the Q. Now I remember it, right? It is the Q, right? I need to check. Reckoning. Why am I saying Retribution? I think it's a Retribution because you did, to be completely honest.
I thought it was called Retribution.
Reckoning, Divine Blessing, Righteous Fury, and Intervention. That's what it is.
See, Intervention and Retribution, they both have the Shin.
It's not Divine Intervention, Seal. It's just Intervention. Come on. Sorry.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
I felt the urge. Oh, you corrected yourself? Damn. And we do see a push on mid. Blue team and Purple team just on the complete opposite sides from each other. Looks like Blue team's going for that really heavy catch, but Purple team is just going to swing towards top lane instead. Going to pick up this outer tower for free. And they are just going to back off. They don't want to head-on collision with Blue team right now.
Yeah, you see there, Anivia just being able to just mow down that wave. It's
just Anivia, right?
Pretty much.
Anivia's just so good at wave clear. This ward is just survived 2 little Oracle sites and finally gets taken out. That's a hero ward. That ward I dub a hero. That is Sir Wardsalot, ward number 72 this game. Hero ward. It has been knighted. Deal with it. Wait, that is my imagination getting the better of me. It does look like Blue team is gonna clear Baron right now, and she's not gonna go check the inside of the pit. So Purple team does still have a ward hidden deep within.
Oh,
and once again,
catch on Mimi right here, but no, I mean, and they just getting knocked up so much. Looks like the intervention coming down. Twisted Fate gonna just run straight into the fray. It looks like the Sona's gonna catch the Kog'Maw down, and Lulu's gonna also go down as well. Zach just being in the middle, not so good. But Exita doing so much work here, jumping straight in. The Ghostbusters having to be popped to slow down the advance of Aatrox. But it looks like he's gonna turn around. Twisted Fate with a beautiful gold card. He's gonna take down Aatrox, but it looks like Kale will not survive this onslaught.
So the big play there was definitely Mimi. Definitely Mimi on Anivia. That wall separated the Purple team, and it caught Kog'Maw out, free, ready for that stun. Once the stun landed, it was actually not just a 4v3 because Twisted Fate wasn't in that fight yet, but it was actually more of a it was actually more of a 5 versus 2 there because the wall had cut off parts of the purple team, parts of the Gatekeepers.
And you know, Twisted Fate is doing a really good job there defending the Nexus turrets. Just going straight onto Sona. Sona didn't even try to move away from that. Just ate a gold card and a wild card and just got owned.
And that's really the Lich Bane showing its value there. Lich Bane just making it so each of his picking cards do so much damage.
Oh, Lulu running straight into a Zergling in the jungle. That was really scary for her. But good thing there was nobody nearby, and you know, Cho'Gath doesn't actually have any mana to do much. So
it's a nightmare, if you will. Cause the skin.
Please don't.
Okay, I'm done. I knew that was bad, but it was almost on par with that frostbite joke you were about to say. So.
But see, I didn't say it.
Yes, you did. You just said it afterwards in a non-joking format.
Exactly. That's why I didn't say it. So it looks like the blue team's going for the Baron.
Oh, what
here.
the hell? My camera was just kind of. Alright, so it does look like blue team is gonna go for Baron.
Yeah, but they do. Oh, now they spot the ward here. So they're gonna be seen, but they're taking this Baron down really fast. Mimi doing a lot of damage. So it looks like Cho'Gath is gonna take a feast on that Baron.
No, he didn't use Feast.
He's going to smite the Baron in a non-Saint Vicious style way. Oh, but looks like Kog'Maw, poor little Kog'Maw getting caught out right there. He having to use his Blade of the Ruined King. He's just, oh my gosh, all the damages are coming down onto him. And looks like Twisted Fate gonna use the gold card just to stop Cho'Gath's advance. Good stuff right there.
So that was a really nice kind of.
Oh no, and looks like Cho'Gath's gonna get caught out in the under the turret. Looks like, look at Kog'Maw just doing so much work right there. Aatrox going down, Cho'Gath going down. Let's bounce up. Crescendo coming down onto him. Intervention, making sure that Kog'Maw stays safe here. With
And poor Anivia is out of mana.
Keep chasing. It looks like Anivia just not gonna be able to get out of this one. Zac decides to be nice guy, Zac, and let her go. No, Twisted Fate is coming into the fray with a gold card, turning her into the egg. The egg. What's going on, dude? Do you like your eggs fried or do you like your eggs sunny side up? What up? The gold card gonna fry her up.
So, Purple Team did a really great job disengaging that, and actually what I found most game breaking during that fight, Anivia ran out of mana. Anivia ran out of mana during the middle of that fight and was forced to back up, and that's a lot of blue team's damage. Best Book Club doesn't have too terribly much damage without that Anivia. That's their late game presence. So with Anivia without any mana, she's not particularly useful in the fight anymore.
Oh,
Kog'Maw
man.
does have the Mana Mura now though, so he's gonna be doing amazing amounts of damage.
And he also has the Guardian Angel. Now this is gonna be really big for the Gatekeepers right here. They could really turn this around because Kog'Maw, as long as he stays alive, has been winning them the fight. The Retribution and the Wild Growth put onto him have literally saved him. The intervention. Whatever. The intervention and the Wild Growth placed onto him have really saved him in all the team fights that he's been in. And so the thing is, adding on a Guardian Angel onto that, he's gonna literally be unkillable. The moment he dies in a fight, he could just go in, you know, just destroy everybody, die, and come back to life, and then get the Retribution, and then get the Wild Growth onto him.
Everybody in chat's talking about our intervention, our retribution, back and forth talk. Also, I like Mana Mura better than Mura Mana. I kind of want to see Kog'Maw sell those Greaves and pick up a Zephyr, and just be like, I have nothing left to buy.
So we just see here the Gatekeepers are trying to keep their lanes pushed out. They do still have the outer base turrets, just not the one in the middle, but the inhibitor has respawned. So that if they want to make plays, they can start making plays now.
I mean, the one big problem that that the Gatekeepers are finding themselves against is that Anivia just keeps getting these perfect walls, singling Kog'Maw out from his team.
Oh, it looks like a lot of damage coming down on the Shoutcasted right here. They're going to start sieging up on this inhibitor. Galen coming in, getting a living artillery to the face, but she's going to keep hitting it. Gold card coming down, so much damage on the Kitchen, jump straight onto her. The crescendo coming down, but not enough. Looks like the intervention going to go onto Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw in the backline just going to keep smashing him over and over and over. Aatrox, Anthrax, going to revive right here. Going to revive again, but he's going to kiss go down. This Kog'Maw is just way too strong, and looks like Kyrie picks up Anthrax.
So that was actually a great catch by the Gatekeepers there, with Twisted Fate's gold card. Once Sona was stunned, like she not only instantly melted, but she was forced to put her crescendo down in a position that wasn't the most optimal for her team. They really needed that crescendo to lock up at least 3 to 4 members of their team, and it only hit 2. And I'm not positive, but I don't think it hit Kog'Maw either. So the fact that it wasn't on the prime target really made their team fight weak. So that was all due to TF's gold card catch. So that was really good.
Oh, and it looks like Kog'Maw's gonna go straight on the Cho'Gath right here. The rupture does save his life. And ooh, a lot of damage coming down from Sona and the turret.
I'd also like to point out that Kog'Maw's Guardian Angel wasn't even popped in that fight.
No. Gale decided to save Kog'Maw's Guardian Angel by using her intervention. And so the benefit of this build, definitely you can see that the Muramana is paying dividends to itself, because he's just able to throw as many living artilleries as he wants. He is not running out of mana in these fights, and he always has his Arcane Barrage. But oh, he's actually gonna get caught. The Guardian Angel coming down. It looks like Mimi's just gonna lay this down, and that's gonna frostbite his face. But oh,
Sona
taking the kill. Probably not the best idea there. She doesn't, the support usually isn't the one that wants to get the kills, especially this late in the game on a shutdown.
I don't know. Imagine all the wards she can buy with that gold.
If she had room for it.
What?
If she had room for it in her inventory.
Just imagine all the
it looks
wards.
like Strelly's gonna go down. They're just gonna try to push this as fast as possible, making their way. I'm not gonna say downtown. I really don't want to say downtown.
Making their way downtown.
But they're gonna take this inhibitor turret relatively easily. They do have the Caitlyn here, just gonna pound away at it. Kog'Maw still has 27 seconds on him on the clock, so he's not gonna be able to come back until later. So this is gonna be a 4v5 right here. So they really need to. Oh, they get a catch on the Keechin. Keechin gets a crescendo beautifully on the Twisted Fate and the Lulu. Twisted Fate going really low. Has to Zanya's. Let's Bounce coming down. Wild Growth onto Zac, knocking people up, but is to no avail. They are just doing so much work. Ignite coming down onto Kira going down, and Exita just XPK that Nexus from the back.
That was a really close game. And that the fatal move there, definitely Kog'Maw backing in the wrong bush. But both teams actually, great job in that exchange. So
Yeah, that was definitely very unfortunate. They had such good play and they were coming back, but just didn't happen.
just too much. Who do you think is the MVPs though for both teams this past match? What do you think?
I'm gonna have to give the MVP for the blue side. Definitely gonna be Mimi here, doing really good job in mid lane and doing a really good job of just getting those walls down perfectly. And I guess, Cog, Prime Vein, NA then be the MVP for their team, even though, you know, he did back in the wrong bush that caused the loss. But he did do a lot of, good. He made a lot of good plays all throughout the game. Had really good positioning for the most part, and was just able to. He was pretty much the reason why they were coming back. I mean, not taking away any glory from Kirei or Slip and Slay for giving the ultis put straight onto Kog'Maw, but just a little bit just caught out at that one time really really cost them.
I would definitely agree that Mimi played excellently. Mimi was definitely the MVP of blue team. But I would actually say that Kira would actually be the MVP of purple team, I think, just because her ult timings on Kog'Maw were all very, very good. I don't think she missed a single one as far as the timing to make sure that Kog'Maw would live through the high burst amount. Like you want Kale's ult to be placed when the target is about to take the burst damage instead of when he's about to die. That way you absorb the most impact out of it. And Kira was very, very good at making sure that ult was always on Kog'Maw, not only when he was about to die, but more when he's about to take a large amount of damage. Immediately when Aatrox jumped. When Aatrox jumped on him, on Kog'Maw, Kog'Maw always had that ult on immediately at that moment, and all of Aatrox's burst just went down the drain. There was no more burst anymore, and Kog'Maw was able to rip through him and still be healthy enough to rip through other people. And by proof of that, during that first fight, or not really that first fight, the second to last fight, I guess. The first fight where you saw Kog'Maw with Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel wasn't even popped. In fact, Kog'Maw still had, I think, 75% of his health. So I think I would definitely give it to Kale in that regard.